What is up, Team JVS? We are back with another review. We are here with the Wheel of Time, episode 6. Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot going on that we are excited to talk about, but at the same time, we are not excited to talk about. This show has brought in me all different types of emotions. We have made that really clear, but at the same time, it's just been it's been a treat. It's been a treat, And I know we've talked about this in the past, uh, non-book readers compared to book readers. But a lot of the complaints that people have had with the show is sometimes how different it may be from the source material, if you will. For me, I don't have that issue because I don't have the source material. So what I have seen has just been stuff I've enjoyed. So I've enjoyed this through and through, and going into season 3 and what we've gotten with season 3 has been no different. It's been fantastic, and I'm really excited to hear how you guys rank your seasons. But either way, quick introduction. I'm Bizzy Braun. You're watching Team JVS. We drop a lot of coverage for a lot of different series, so stay tuned. And of course, if you want to check out my reactions, my live reactions to the episodes, I post those on my channel under Bizzy Braun, BIZZYBRON, where we discuss, of course, all different types of shows and watch the shows, and you guys can see my live reaction to the craziness. But I'm really excited to talk about this episode, considering it's the last few episodes have been amazing. Episode 4, outstanding. Episode 5, again, a lot of amazing moments, and we're not changing the path here. We got a lot of things that we wanted to see in this episode, but at the same time, some things that I'm upset about, if you will. And we're gonna kind of cover first the things that I'm still happy that we got, but not my favorite parts of the episode yet. So we're baby steps. Um, the whole match situation has been interesting. Horn of the horn situation has been one of the highlights for his character. I really enjoyed that ending scene in the finale, and then of course seeing what it's kind of taught him and what it's brought to his character for season 3, and like we saw him talking to Tom, and got Tom again, which was pretty awesome. I didn't even recognize him at first, but when he started talking in the old tongue, it was just one of those moments where, like, now as a viewer, we're just like, oh, he's doing it again. He's doing it again. Stop him. And it's just a cool little touch because, of course, the actor is doing a phenomenal job kind of portraying it because he's just like, it just rolls off so naturally. And it's not like a lot of the actors that, like, kind of like have to force an accent or force something out. It's just, it feels natural. And it's kind of funny because he's kind of good at it. And the whole situation where they're at, and I guess how things are there. It's just nuts. It's crazy to see how different of a situation they are in compared to where Rand and Moraine and of course Egwene are. Um, but I really enjoyed what they were doing over there until of course they go until of course Nynaeve and Elaine go head to head with the Forsaken, which again as a non-book reader they've done a really good job kind of introducing the Forsaken, which obviously it's not like they just did that here, but throughout the series because it's like they obviously feel like a threat, but how powerful they are. Like we look at Nynaeve and we're like, I know she hasn't even tapped into her fullest potential, but she's already extremely scary. Like when she is in that badass mood. And for her and both her and Elaine to get taken over in the way that they got taken over, and to see Nynaeve have the power to kind of resist was so cool to watch. And it's like I'm just waiting for her to kind of like just go crazy because we even got that moment between her and they were like, yeah, like you have like a block there, like you're not letting everything out, and it's gonna be really cool to see everything just for her to go crazy. It's gonna be really interesting for her to use all of her abilities and just go nuts, man. It's gonna be great. But of course, them finding all the little, the wristband and just everything they're looking for. It's been interesting. It's like they're on a little scavenger hunt, but I'm happy with how that storyline's turning out. The main thing that I'm really excited about, and I've made this clear since the beginning of the season, I'm really enjoying what they're doing with the whole Rand side of things. That's kind of what I want to dive into. With him joining this group and being involved, and again that little girl that we were introduced to was a highlight. Just the way she was saying Rand Althor every single time she was communicating with him. I was so looking forward to her character, and they're doing all these things where he touched her weapon, and she's like, "Oh, you insulted me by you dishonored me, Randall Thor, by touching my weapon." And just the way she talked was just it was so fun, so funny. And Rand is just being as good as he is with kids and saying flat out like like he was just encouraging it. He was like, I apologize, let me know how I can make it up to you. And it was just such a cute exchange between the two. And of course, leading where it did lead up to just made it so much more heartbreaking. um Man, I mean, they've done just such a good job. And one thing that I do want to talk about before I dive into that heartbreaking scene was, of course, Matt's little sisters. Them being able to channel, I thought it was just one of them. I think that is so cool. And we saw that in the last episode where the mother ended up taking responsibility for him and she ended up paying the price. But it turns out it's both of them. And we saw them heal. And just that whole moment between all four of them in that room made me kind of emotional. Just for the hope to kind of arise and for, of course, just to hear, I think, is it Alana? I can't remember her name. I'm so bad at names. You guys know this, but for her to say flat out like I told you there was channelers here. Like I said this. And for her confidence and her happiness to just rise up, and after being at a point where we weren't sure if she was gonna make it, because I was almost certain that her and yeah, was it Maxim? I'm again so bad at names. I was sure that they weren't gonna make it out of this, and for that to happen, for them to make it out, and on top of that, for her to get healed by the girls, it was cool. It was great, and the way they handled it, just very emotional for me. But that being said, back to the whole Rand situation with Egwene. We are seeing her kind of diving through the dream realm, if you will, and for her to be approached by Lanfear, and that happened in the last episode with her going into Rand's dream and seeing him, of course, doing what he was doing. And I made a comment about it in the last episode, but for her to figure out everything here, and then for her to approach Rand, that conversation was heartbreaking. I feel like that. I don't know if that's it for them. I don't know, but I'm so curious to hear what you guys have to say and how, like, kind of like where you guys side with things, because with situations like this, I know people usually often take sides, and it's like for me, it's hard not to take a Gawain side of it, because I can understand every point that Rand made, but at the end of the day, I mean, Egwene's right. I feel like, and I'm not gonna say I justify everything that Rand said, but he tried to switch it up and was turning it on her, where she's like, "Oh, this is just like how it was before. Like I was never the thing you wanted. Like you always wanted something more." And although that's understandable, like that I feel like is not the best argument. And um, Egwene, I mean, yo, what is it, Madeline Madden? Madeline Madden? Is that how you say your name? Phenomenal, the acting in that sequence, bro. Both of them, and of course, with a Josha, like the way he portrayed this, like his acting. Of course, the way his acting was later on in the episode, fantastic as well. But them on screen just was blowing my mind. And of course, then when they got attacked and it leading to him using his full abilities, which again is something that I've been waiting for. For them to use their abilities, for him to kind of use it again, I'm sure he can use his abilities even more than what we saw. But for him to use it, for what we saw at least, was just incredible. And again, super impressed. And for the lightning and just everything to just go nuts and to see how strong he was. But then for them to be like, oh yeah, she was on the top floor, and then for him to find the body and the way everything was, I mean, it was just so depressing, and they did such a good job with it. But then for them to kind of show us a little crack of Rand kind of going nuts with him, like like the prophecy said, I'd bring destruction, and then he even giggled a little bit, like going mad, and especially after the conversation him and Moraine had earlier, where he was like, what did you see? Like, did I go crazy? And she's like, sometimes. Like, did I kill you? She's like, sometimes, or did you kill me or whatever? It was just like that whole exchange of dialogue was incredible as well. But I mean, Josha has brought nothing but pure just excellence in this episode. Just it was a top tier performance, and I just think it was all around fantastic. But that last moment was just heartbreaking. And one more moment I want to talk about before we leave as well that I thought they did really well was the whole parent situation. Of course, the build up to him trusting and kind of loving someone again has been interesting, considering that they had his wife kind of killed off like in the first episode. Like that was depressing, and he's been depressed off and on throughout the series, which is justified. For him to find that woman again, I ain't gonna get the name right, I never do. Um, I immediately started liking her the actress, if you will. I just immediately I'm like the character, excuse me. And this episode was no different. I mean, the fact that she's talking to him, she wanted to know about the horn, and then she was pissed that Pear knew about the horn, and he's even showing off the picture that he had of Matt, and um for him to shut her up by kissing her. It was just, I know a lot of you guys are probably excited too, but I'm rooting for them. I want that to work out, and I really hope this show goes on for a while, because I'm just, so far it's just really pulling me in, and I know there's so much more story to tell. And again, despite how you are, book reader or non-book reader, if you're not happy with how it's going due to it kind of going away from the books, I can understand that. Everyone can understand how someone might feel about that, but realistically, I'm so excited to see more of this and more of these characters in action. So again, super impressive, and really excited to see the exchange between Lane Fair and Rand, especially because Rand is not going to be in the right mental state after what he went through. But it's going to be a mess, 100% going to be a mess. But I the fact that he had no idea what she was doing to Egwene, and Egwene didn't know that. Like, I'm pretty sure Lanfear like straight up said, "Oh no, he knows," and it's gonna be brutal. I'm really looking forward to episode 7. It's gonna be great. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Again, if you want to see these reactions, me watching these episodes, me getting emotional, especially with the Rand situation and everything, go check out my channel. I truly appreciate it. And for now, just a big thank you. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're staying safe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Be well. Peace out.